Okay, so this lesson is going to be about how to make a stop motion animation in stop motion free app that you can find on App Store or Android's Google Play market. We're gonna start with making a new project. So you press here and then you press here to start making some images or frames. So as you can see, this is my space, which I'm gonna use for animation. In order to focus, you just tap on the screen and it's gonna focus on the object. Before we start shooting, our app has to be set up. So as you can see, when I press here, there is an AWB, which after white balance, which we have to turn off. Next one is auto exposure, so that you don't have a strange flickering effect with the colors as well as the tone. And after focus, this could be locked. Most of the cameras on the smartphones cannot do a manual focus, so you should keep it on after focus. Then we close the settings and we can start shooting. So I'm gonna do a simple animation, which is basically a bouncing ball. So I put my character away and then I start press this button and then I move my character. And this is where we need to adjust certain settings in the software. So I'm pressing here on the left. And basically what the slider does is it shows the previous frame which we shoot before. If you watch the video about timing and spacing, you will know why this is really important. So you say that this is the point A or the pose A, and this is the point B where it's going to hit the floor. And if you ask, how much time will the object spend from point A to point B? This is going to be your timing. Like a balloon, for example, because it's very light, it's gonna fly very slow and maybe do some weird motion while it's going down. And I think in my case it's around, let's say, a second. So if I'm shooting right now 12 frames per second, basically we have to have 12 frames to go from here to here. Where are those 12 frames going to be on our timeline here? So that's what spacing is then. So the distance between the object's previous frame and future frame is going to gradually become bigger and bigger. So you will see what I mean. Also, if you don't want to press each time whenever you make a new frame, you can actually go here and set the timer, shoot, and then you move the character, and then you shoot, and then let's move our character again. And remember that our distance is growing bigger and bigger. So right now it's already 6 frames that we shoot. And let me make it real far. And here. So let's see what we already have. So I've pressed stop and we can go back. Right now we have only 9 frames. So if I play it right now, you will see like it's strangely moving and it looks more like a slideshow and not like an animation. So we need to go to settings and change it from 5 frames to 12 frames per second. Usually you will see movies that are shot at 24 frames per second or more, but in animation it's pretty hard to keep track of 24 frames, but 12 frames per second is still, as you can see, looks pretty good. So right now we can see the motion is not so interesting and so realistic, so I'll show you how to make it more interesting. So I want, for example, to make it look like he's speeding up like a car. So basically this is my planning. So he's gonna go from here to here and stop. Okay, so let's put him to point A or to the pose A. And by the way, what we are doing here is straight ahead animation, which if we have 5 frames. And so let's actually make an in-between right here. There's another in-between. There's another in between and another in between. So as you can see, the distance here is small, getting bigger, huge, and then we can exaggerate it and actually have it go here and here. So this is our spacing. Especially like main all of the section. Time to make it smooth. And so it's pretty hard to animate these little things. And in that case, I'm using some tools. Again, this will help. I know that the first frame is actually wrong, so I'm gonna press it, and I press delete. And you can find in this menu a lot of different stuff. And let's set it up to 12 frames per second. Well, at the end, I would say that there's a bit many frames. So what I will do is actually, I will remove this one. Let's see. Maybe we can remove this one. It's going to be much smoother. So as you can see, depending on what kind of in-betweens you have, the animation is going to look either boring or interesting. And you can play with it actually and see what you can come up with. Try different motions like bouncing, flying, and use all kind of objects in your arsenal. But keep in mind that if you don't use the principles of animation, or at least if you don't think about them consciously, then your animation is going to look less realistic or less interesting. So, but we can also add a keyframe. If let's actually press here and then press insert camera. So it's gonna. So now we have the blank space and then this frame. Unfortunately, we cannot see the future frame. I don't know why they didn't implement this. So after that, I press shoot, go back, and play the animation. And here you can also find. So I'm gonna press share. And here you can find export it as a movie, as a GIF. Let's export it as a movie because I think most of you would like to upload it on YouTube or somewhere else. You can upload it to any disk drive you have. In my case, I will upload it to Photos as 1080p. And then basically just download that file and upload it anywhere you want. This is my animation that I have. Yeah. And then you can just basically go to download it. So yeah, we downloaded it, and here we have it in our gallery. So we can select it and write down this is my animation, and then you can post it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.